Hey everybody, Kelly, Flip with Kelly coming at you. How's everybody doing this morning? Continuing on with these questions that changed my life by Tim Ferriss. So, if I could only work 2 hours per week, this is question number 5. If I could only work 2 hours per week for whatever reason, maybe you were in an accident or your your day just got condensed down and you only literally have 2 hours. You don't have your normal 8 to 18 hour workday like most people do. You only got 2 hours to spare to work on your business. What would you do? What would I do? What would we do, right? So Tim read after reading the E-Myth Revisited by Michael Gerber and this other book called the 80-20 Principle. He read these two books. So those two might be good reads. Where 80% of the outcomes are 20% of your active inputs. So whatever your activity is that you're inputting into your business, into your life. What 20% of customers, sellers, your services you're providing, and in what regions, areas, zip codes, places, cities, counties, states, nationwide, whatever, are producing 80% of your profits. So what 20% are producing 80% of your profits? You know, what lead types? Is it probates, pre-foreclosures? Is it code violations? Tax liens, tax delinquency? Is it out-of-state sellers? Is it out-of-county sellers at a distance? Is it AI with the distressed internals of the property? Like again, what lead type is it? Are they upside down? Are they recently moved? Are they maybe U-Haul is involved? What are all the distressed seller components that AI can pick out, along with and or SkyDrive, where it's the externals of the property, where year after year after year, day after day, dollar after dollar, you see it getting more and more slowly progressively getting decrepit. We got the satellites, the drones can in real time see it decaying. You know, it's mold, it's rust, you could see that nobody's living there. There's no vehicles coming to and fro. It's like having a camera on that house 24/7. So there's mainly two components. You know, are these tired landlords? What are they? There's all kinds of stuff. But you gotta basically figure out what is your 20% in your area at whatever's going on today, and then you've got the economy, you've got politics involved, and then you got to determine what factors are the commonality, the shared characteristics might account for this, might be resulting out of this. So basically find out you want to fire, eliminate, or at least lower prioritize these higher maintenance, higher hanging fruit, which would be the opposite of all the commonality of what the 20% is. The time wasters, the tire kickers. So there's like basically three categories. You've got what's producing the 20%, or maybe the 3 to 5% of your best deals. These are the ones that are making you probably 80%, 90% of the checks you're receiving, or the getting funds wired to you from the title company. Then you've got the other category of these once in a while deals. You know, you get 10 or maybe 20,000 from a deal here and there. Not in that 80% category, that 95% category. So these are the deals. They're good deals, but you got to spend a lot of marketing money to find them, and you get them closed, but they're here and there. And then the third category would be basically your tire kickers. So the deals that maybe close for a couple thousand here and there, or they don't close at all. So you got tiers involved, right? So basically you want to fire or lower prioritize the higher maintenance stuff, the higher hanging fruit. So think eliminate, automate, and delegate. Put more than 90% of the warm leads you have on autopilot with simple terms and standardized processes. So I got two different leads in my system. I've got hot leads and warm leads. I don't have any cold leads. I'm not going to waste my time on cold leads. There's too many hot leads that I can take care of, and I can also take care of those warm leads because I don't want to just let them go. They could turn into hot leads. You want to mess with the cold leads, maybe you could throw them in a CRM and do an automatic follow-up, but my focus right now is hot leads and warm leads. So put more than the 90%, basically your warm leads, on autopilot with simple terms and standardized processes, whatever that may mean for you. For me, that means follow up with the warm leads once a week. Do it on Friday between 5 and 7. And this will force you, when you got a schedule, to not get too many warm leads. Warm leads will eventually become cold leads if they don't become a hot lead. Not gonna stay a warm lead forever, or maybe that's your CRM. And then on the hot leads, you want to deepen those relationships, which means, trust is built over time. I think a hot lead is just somebody that you follow up with every 2 to 4 weeks. Maybe it's once a week if it's called for. Obviously, you got it under contract. You better be following up with that bad boy once a week, right? At least. And I don't follow up, hey, how's it going? Just something like, don't mean nothing. A lot of times, there's something going on at the title company, and yeah, you can do stuff like give them the title company's information. Also talk to the title company, maybe see if they can reach out to them with a welcome. But a lot of times when the deal's getting there, there's just things that will come up. there's also standard things. So that might be, you know, hey, closing's coming up. Have you gotten everything out of the property? That's a common one that we've experienced. There's just things that are normal, standard things to do with sellers. And by deepening the relationships with the sellers, by connecting with them, finding commonalities in these 5% deals that are making you the most money, it only makes common sense to deepen those relationships. This will increase the closing rates on those, and if the seller has a good experience, future deals will result from it, because they'll tell somebody, hey, I like these guys, they did a great job, had a good experience with them, they took care of me. You may also want to let the seller know that they can get a finder's fee for bringing new deals in. And this could just be something in a thank you thing, you know, after they sign the contract with you, or maybe after the deal's done. So deepen the relationship with those highest profit deals, that top 25, 3 to 5 to 20% deals that you do that are the highest profit. And they're also your mildest headache customers. Your customers are your sellers. They can also be your cash buyers, right? So, and all of this stuff will lead to question number 6, which we'll cover in the next video. Another common thing that you should address with your sellers is closing costs, prorations. Go over this stuff. So some of the more savvy investors, your tired landlords, they're probably going to understand this, but a lot of times a homeowner don't understand this. So go over these things ahead of time, prepare them ahead of time. Some of these sellers think, okay, I'm just going to get that $100,000 check at closing. Well, no. What are the closing costs? Do you cover all of them? And do you even include them? Don't have to include closing costs in every deal. It can be a good negotiation thing to throw in there, if you want to. And then I think there's a transfer tax that's roughly maybe $500. I think it's a percentage of the total value. So sometimes that might be $500. Typically the seller pays that. But, you know, these are things to cover. Just make sure the seller understands these things. And those are the good once a week things to cover with them. If you, especially if you don't have any other news, things that are progressing, news coming to and fro the title company. Those are good things to run past them once a week. So, okay, I think that about covers things for today. I hope you found some value. If you did, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, and share it with whomever. This is Kelly. You guys have yourselves a good day. Kelly out.